Hi Division 5. Today we are going to have a math lesson and we are going to start to learn about fractions. What are fractions? Well, fractions are pieces of a whole. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to remember. Fractions are parts or pieces of a whole. A whole like a whole something, a whole apple, a whole pie, not a hole in the ground. So parts or pieces of a whole. And the second important detail about fractions that you need to know is that the parts or pieces all have to be equal size. So, does it matter what shape the whole object or whole something is? No. It can be a pie shape, it can be a square shape, it can be, it can be a rectangle shape, it can be any shape as long as this whole is divided into equal pieces. So I can divide a circle into two pieces, or I could divide this circle into 4 pieces, but the pieces have to be equal. I can divide, and it doesn't matter how you divide. I could divide this square going this way, just like the pie, but you'd have 4 equal pieces of squares then. But I'm going to divide it this way, just to show you that it doesn't matter how you divide it, as long as the pieces are equal. And I'm going to divide this rectangle into 3 pieces. That one turned out to be not quite so equal, but I can't erase and do it over. But the pieces have to be equal. And they don't always have to be into 4, they can be in any number of pieces. Now, the next thing that we're going to learn is how do you write a fraction? Okay, so I have a pie here. The number of pieces in total is the number that you put on the bottom. So I have 4 pieces total, so I put that number on the bottom. If I ate 1 piece of the pie that was divided into 4 pieces, then I would have eaten 1/4. If I ate 2 pieces, then I would have eaten 2/4. If I ate 3 pieces, then I would have eaten 3/4. And if I ate 4 pieces, I would have eaten 4/4. And when you have a number on top, that's the same as the number of the bottom. That is the same as a whole. So let's just think here. What else do I need to tell you? Well, if you have something divided into 2, we call that halves. So that is 1/2. We're talking about both pieces. That's 2 halves, and that would be a whole. If you have something divided into 3 equal pieces, we call those thirds. So that would be 1/3. That would be 2/3. And that would be 3/3. So whatever the number on the bottom is, that's how we name the fraction. So we have halves, we have thirds, and we have fourths. Now, fourths actually have another name. They are called quarters as well. Fourths. Yeah, put the TH sound on the end of all these fraction words, fourths. And this one is also called quarters. And when it's divided into two, we call those a half, or if we're talking about both pieces, halves. When it's divided into three, those thirds. So that's all I want you to remember for today. I'm going to show you some other things that will help you think about fractions, but I want you to remember that fractions are parts or pieces of a whole, and pieces all have to be equal. So to give you an example, if I have a rectangle and I divide it like this, that is not a proper fraction. That's not a fraction at all because the pieces are not equal. So that's a fraction, that's a fraction. That was supposed to be a fraction, but it didn't really turn out right. This is not a fraction. And the number on the bottom tells you the name of the fraction. This one is divided into three, so we call it thirds. When it's divided into two, it's halves. When it's divided into four, it's fourths. And just so we can make sure you understand, if it's divided into five, see if I can divide this rectangle into five evenly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's divided into five, it's fifths. See that TH on the end there? Fifths. And if it's divided into six, then it would be sixths, and so on and so forth. Now, what I was going to show you was just some objects around my house that are divided. So here is a real pie plate, and I divided it into 4 pieces. So that would be fourths or quarters. Here is a chocolate bar, my favorite fraction. And it is divided into, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's count by twos, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's divided into 12 pieces, so that would be twelfths. When I eat a piece of chocolate, I like to eat at least that much. So that would be, if I eat that much chocolate, I am eating 4 twelfths of the chocolate bar. And another thing I found around my house, a muffin tin. And it is also divided into 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And see how the muffins are all the same size, so you got equal pieces. So, what do you need to remember again for today? Fractions are pieces of a whole, and all those pieces need to be equal. They need to be the same size. So I'm going to post a little activity for you to do, worksheet, and you can have fun with that. You can have fun looking around your house for things that are divided equally. Just see what you can find in your house or around your yard. What's divided equally and how many pieces there are. That tells you the name of the fraction. So that's all for today. Stay safe. Bye.